Simon.
Cheers.
Innovation, productivity and of course cost reduction are all very, very important. ICS is a Microsoft partner. They've got a tagline, the Microsoft Gurus. They have recently been dipping their toe into the world of public sector. So here to tell us more, please welcome MD Martin Neale. Okay. That's Simon. He needs a bit more training, I think. Why did you get into the cloud? What was kind of the first sort of dipping your toe, if you like?
Yeah, I think probably the best case for that was what you've just seen from EasyJet to start with. You know, the reality is that what's happening with EasyJet is happening with companies all over the place. So there's an enormous move towards the cloud. We were told by you, I think, 2 years ago. And of course,
somebody listened to me. That was good.
Well, good Microsoft partners always do what we're told at conferences. So we went away and obediently set up our practices, and we've really been doing that ever since. You keep hearing the stats. Barry mentioned one of the stats from Gartner. I had another one which was by 2012, 20% of all organisations would own no IT assets, and they also said that 10% of this year's global IT spend is on cloud-based expenditure. So the rate at which this is happening, is phenomenal.
So why? I mean, I suppose Microsoft was a no-brainer. If your tagline is the Microsoft Gurus, you're not likely to go with Amazon, are you? But in terms of the transition, how challenging was that? Is that a change of mindset more than anything else?
Well, surprisingly, Microsoft don't always get everything right.
It's a surprise, that, isn't it?
I think with cloud computing, they've got it exactly right. They've been spending jaw-dropping sums of money for some years now in building out their solutions, and they're bringing them to market at exactly the point that everybody's looking to buy them. So the first question about why Microsoft is a pretty obvious one. In terms of our transition, it was really evolution rather than revolution. So we started to set up our BPOS Centre of Excellence in late 2008. We migrated our platform team and our support team to focus and specialise in BPOS. The challenges for that team were there were some new technologies they weren't familiar with, so things like live meeting and OCS they weren't working with, so they had to get used to that. In the case of Azure, we set up the practice at the beginning of 2009. The challenge around Azure for us, we migrated our BizTalk and our .NET teams across to Azure. And the challenge is there for anyone who's used to dealing with development techies, is they can be quite a cynical group.
Surely not.
Indeed. So getting them feeling confident that the platform was capable of doing what they needed it to do. We go out, we quote to customers. Sometimes we're involved in fixed fee. We have to be absolutely confident that we can deliver it. So with those guys, it was quite a lot of technical training, practical hands-on applications.
And how much help did you get from Microsoft in that?
We've had a huge amount of assistance from both teams on BPOS and Azure. So there have been training courses. We've had manner of assistance. We've had marketing assistance. It's been our best experience to date in the many years ICS have been dealing as a Microsoft partner.
So talk me through some of the kind of success stories, and particularly perhaps perhaps start with the public sector, because people don't necessarily think that it's that easy to engage with a public sector client. Yeah,
we've the high-level figure is we've had 23 BPOS wins. And 6 in the last...
In what time scale?
In about a year, I would guess.
Okay.
And around 6 in the last week alone.
6 in the last week?
6 in the last week alone. So the rate of business is really starting to pick up around BPOS.
Why?
Well, if there's no, we found no single reason. So one example is the City of Westminster. For them, they had a contract that was being delivered by 4 different suppliers. They wanted a collaboration site, but they didn't want to invest in setting it up. So they moved to BPOS. and were able to put a platform in that all suppliers could work on for the limited duration of the project. So for them, there was a cost saving associated with that. We have another client, not public sector. It's a Zurich IFA business who we're starting a 1,400 seat migration on Monday. And their motivation is they're moving all of their main systems to the cloud, and they are anticipating a saving of, I think, 1.3 million over a 5-year period.
So I suppose many, particularly public sector, have a kind of compelling reason to push. So the budgets are so tight.
Yeah, any customer, as everyone in this room will know, require a compelling event in order to basically do something. And there's no market sector at the moment that has any more of a compelling event than the public sector with what's just about to happen.
And how did you kind of engage with a public sector client? Is that getting a little bit easier? Does cloud change that relationship at all?
About 30% of ICS's business comes through partners. So in the public sector specifically, we partner with partners who have experience themselves. So we partner with SCC, who have a number of framework agreements with the public sector, meaning that we can avoid the tender hell. And we also work with partners like Civica, who have got a strong presence in certain public sector markets.
Any other kind of stories, success stories, cloud stories that you can share with us?
One really interesting one was a socially impactful application that we were involved with on Azure, which was an organisation who essentially provide microfinance to people in Kenya who wouldn't normally have access to traditional loan systems. So the system essentially sits as kind of a PayPal on top of their mobile phone billing contracts, and they use their mobile phones to request money and to receive it.
So you actually built that application for them?
Yep, we built that. It was World Bank funded. They didn't have a huge amount of money. They had really no money for the infrastructure. So Azure was an obvious choice for them because the system is going to go into lots of other geographies. They're starting in Kenya, but they're moving to Pakistan shortly. So they're able to move around wherever there are internet connections, and obviously they saved on all of the initial purchase costs associated with the platform.
Yeah. Okay, so some good stories, some good experience from you. Martin, for the moment, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.